as a lot of the Americans have really turned in some good times. Men's 200-meter freestyle is next. And one of the featured swimmers is Ricky Behrens. He'll be swimming out of lane 4, 23 years old now. Had a big win last night, Rowdy, in the 100 free, turning in a personal best.
Huge win, and he likes the 200 even better. He was part of that 800 free relay that won gold, right, in Beijing.
All right, so it's Behrens working from the middle of the pool in lane 4 as we check the lanes. Dinko Jukic of Austria swimming for Europe in lane 1, coached by his father, Zelko. Connor Dwyer of the U.S. is in lane 2, second in that 400 free last night. Trains with Ryan Lochte. Lane 3, Dominic Maitre of Switzerland, sixth in Beijing in this event. And he is next to Behrens in lane 4 out of the Trojan Swim Club. Paweł Korjanowski of Poland is next to Behrens in lane 5. He was the European champion of the 200 fly back in 2010. Lane 6, Matt McLean, third here in the 400 freestyle last night. Won this event at the World University Games earlier this summer. And Robbie Rennick of Great Britain rounds out the field in lane 7 as lane 8 will be open. Rennick was 8th in Beijing. What about challenges for Behrens and the rest of the field? Could it come from Maitre in lane 3, Rowdy?
It's got to. I mean, there's no waiting anymore for the Europeans. They have to do it right now. It has to take place, and they've got to go 1-2. There's no more splitting anymore. There's no first and third or second and third. They've got to sweep here to have a chance to get back into this meet.
So the lanes work from 1 to 8, from top to bottom, and again, no lane 8. So 7 swimmers in this field. Behrens right in the middle there in lane 4.
I was talking to Connor Dwyer up there in lane number 2, had such a good 400 last night, and he said it just felt good to finally swim fast. He said he's going to go out for it right away, just like he did in the 400. And I was also talking to Ricky and how much he was really excited about that 100, Dan. You mentioned it earlier, and he said, I just love short course swimming. I love the walls. I love getting underneath the huge wave the swimmers bring in. He's a big boy, so he can do that.
Behrens just with a slight lead over Maitre, and it's kind of a mixed bag of training that we're finding from all the swimmers here. Some Americans have really trained hard, some are shaved, some are in racing shape, so you never really know what to expect.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Dan, because that's an example of Ricky Behrens right there, coming in rested at the very peak, shaved, and then a Connor Dwyer who comes in kind of still fairly tired up there in lane number 1, or pardon me, 2.
So Behrens has taken control of this race, although just above him is Maitre, very close, and not letting Behrens drift too far away, although Behrens is looking pretty good. He's got about a body length lead on Maitre.
Big glide off that wall for Ricky Behrens. You can see Maitre trying to get up against that lane line just a touch to try to catch a little bit of a draft. Any further behind, though, he's going to start eating Behrens' ways. And look at the kick he has now with Behrens. Ricky's starting to put his kick into it. And once again, the Americans. Here come the Americans.
Behrens on the final turn, running first. And it's a battle for the second spot. Connor Dwyer beginning to come on in lane 2. In fact, Maitre in lane 3 is fading. In lane 6 is Matt McLean, who's also challenging for a top 3 spot. So it's Behrens, McLean, and Dwyer, and another American sweep.
How about Ricky Behrens? What an incredible breakout meet he is having right now. And I say breakout, and you think, well, breakout, he's been an Olympian, he's been on the world champion. Why would you say breakout? Because it's a breakout individual. And we've known Ricky so much for relays, and all of a sudden he swims and wins the 100, and now the 200 in dominating fashion. It wasn't even close, and you can tell the excitement on his face. The turn, as I said, those big boys create a huge wave. What he does, Dan, is he kind of slips up underneath that wave. All that wave, he gets underneath it as long as possible. He runs that line. Once again, watch when he comes off, Dan. There he is right there. Watch when he comes off this 150 turn here. This is the next to last turn. He gets up underneath the wave, and he runs the line as long as possible, and he does that nice dolphin kick, keeps his head down. Beautiful swim by Ricky Behrens and all 3 Americans.
Yep, 9 more points for the United States as Behrens adds a second win here, the Duel of the Pool.